Okay, I'm in the car and I'm waiting for a minute before I pull off. Just because I'm always in a rush going somewhere. So sometimes I like to sit and just wait before I get out the car or pull off. But I was just thinking, I was up there working on the book, the rewrite for the Hush language, and I'm proud of myself. I'm so proud of myself. But I was reading the words that I wrote over 15 years ago and the experiences that I went through um, over, oh gosh, 30 years ago. I'm dating myself. But I was, let's say 20 years ago. But I was looking at that and I just like that little girl inside of me who went through all of that. I literally just want to hug her. And I'm so grateful that I was able to grow out of that, out of a lot of that. Some things I'm still working on, absolutely. But I like my words that I wrote, that I'm rereading my words, and the poems that I wrote regarding the situations and experiences that I encountered were, oh my God, it was so heavy. And as I was reading it like I was a different person than this little girl who experienced all of this. And I'm like, how did you overcome that? How did you deal with that, baby girl? How did you deal with that pain? How did you go through all of that abuse? How did you get to the point you're at now? Like, oh my God, it was a lot, to the point that I was reading and I was like, baby, oh my God, I love you. But it was a lot. And so I managed to get all the way up to chapter 5. And I think that it's about 17 chapters in it. So it's not a thick book. The original book that was published in 2010, I think, was roughly 200 pages, if not a little under. Um, and so I don't know how this rewrite is going to be, for the simple fact, because I really wanted it to speak about the stories and the lessons learned. And so I was going in trying to take out a lot of the poetry that I initially put in the first publication of it. Because sometimes people don't get that and they don't understand the stories through poetry and all of that stuff, and maybe it should be separate or whatever. And then I was like, no, that was part of my journey. That was part of my journey. The poems that I wrote directly relates to the experiences that I dealt with growing up as a child. And so why would I remove that from the Hush language? It was the way that I communicated. It was the way that I announced who I was and what I felt and what I was going through. It was my verbiage. And it was my dialect. It was the greatest part of me at that time, the poetry. And so I decided to keep it in, and I was reading some of the poetry, and it brought tears to my eyes, because I'm like, baby girl, oh my God, don't get me to crying now. uh oh my God. But I am working on the rewrite of The Hush Language, a poet's memoir, which are stories about experiences that I dealt with as a child growing up. And it is a challenge. It's challenging to reread and to rewrite and redevelop in a better artistic and edited way, for a better reading experience, more engaged in the story. The first publication was just more my thoughts, and I tried to write it as a story, but I was still learning the technique and learning to get it out. And so it is what it is. But this time we're trying to do it the right way. But I don't have a specific time frame from when I want to release this. Um, I, like I said, I've gotten up to chapter 5, and this is the first rewrite draft that I'm doing. I'll probably go through like 2 or 3 different rewrite revisions before we go to the editing stages, so that's going to take a while. And so I got up to chapter 5, and we say it's about 17 chapters in it. So I'm not even halfway through the first rewrite on the manuscript. But with that being said, I'm going to give myself a year, a year to do it and just take my time and flow with it before, we get it put out there again. But it's challenging, and I just thank God for that little girl inside of me, and I thank God for the woman that I am now. And so maybe I should just use this as a moment of encouragement, because maybe there is a little girl, a teenager, let's say, that is watching this, someone, a girl that is going through challenges, or whatever, abuse. I just want to encourage you. It does get better, but I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It takes work. It takes work. It takes building a network of people. It takes seeking therapy. It takes so much that you're going to really have to put yourself out there, and to get the help that you need. And so don't get discouraged even when you feel discouraged. Like, pick yourself back up and keep going, and focus on that one thing you're trying to get through, what, like, the goal that you're trying to accomplish. Focus on that. Keep tunnel vision on that, because that's what's going to help you get through it. And so, yeah, we are in the phases of the Hush language rewrite, and yeah, this is gonna be crazy. It's gonna At the same time, I am working on another book, and next year I will be picking back up my novel and reworking that. So y'all pray for me, because we got a lot of things happening right now, and I just need to do it. Anyways, I will see you guys later, and I am checking out, and I am headed home. Bye for now.